What's up everybody, Extramillion here once again with Totally Sick Final Fantasy VII Edition, and if you remember from last time, we had just escaped Midgar, and now we're heading on to the city of Calm to learn a bit of backstory about Sephiroth from Cloud. So this tells the story of Cloud when he was just joining Soldier. As you can see, Sephiroth is way more awesome than Cloud was back then. Basically, they were called into this town to eliminate some monsters from a Mako factory up here in Mount Nibel. So Cloud and Sephiroth go in, and they discover that Shin-ra is infusing human soldiers with tons of Mako in order to produce basically like super soldiers or monsters. And then Sephiroth has a bit of a little freak out when he basically discovers that that's how he was created. He wasn't actually born. You also get to see, they talk about Materia and Mako and how people can use magic. Also, if you hadn't noticed, the guide that's leading them around the mountain is Tifa. So, after Sephiroth learns that he was a genetic experiment, he becomes depressed and locks himself in the mansion in Nibelheim, which is a location that you can go to fight a optional boss and recruit one of the optional characters, Vincent. Then, as you can see, he has a bit of a psychotic breakdown and destroys most of the village. Tifa goes to confront him because Sephiroth kills her father. Then Cloud goes to confront him as well. It's implied that Cloud and Sephiroth fight each other, but you never actually get to see it. After the story is over, a few of the characters have various questions like, how could Cloud have survived if Sephiroth was so awesome, or they talk about various other inconsistencies with his story, but they mostly just brush them off and then just leave. And then at the very end, Tifa will give you a device called the PHS, which is very useful. Wherever you can save, like at a save point or on the world map, it allows you to switch out any of your characters at any time. Alright, now we can continue on. This area coming up is the Chocobo Farm. It's one of the few areas that you can save and restore all of your health in. And it's also how you would normally cross the swamp that's coming up. To cross it the way that I'm doing, basically stop before you get into a battle, then save, then quit, then reload your save, and you'll be exactly where you stopped, but the Zolom, the enemy, will be elsewhere, and you can just do that 2 or 3 times. I would suggest fighting these enemies, the Levicrons, because they have a move called Flaming Peck, which will put all of your characters into Fury status, which makes your limit breaks build faster. Once you actually enter the Mithril Mines, that Archdragon will teach Cloud his first enemy skill, which is Flamethrower. Then, just end the battle. Then you'll meet up with the Turks, who will tell you where Sephiroth is going to. Outside the Mithril Mines, you'll get to this area, which is Fort Condor. It's kind of a cool little place where you can do like a battle mini-game. The real reason we came here is so that we can save and restore our health, and so that we can move on to this battle, which is where we will recruit Yuffie, who is one of the 2 optional characters in the game. Although at this point the game calls her Mystery Ninja. Basically just use Cloud and Red 13's limit breaks. She only has about 600 health, so she's not too dangerous. She will escape from the battle if you don't kill her in 10 of her turns. Basically just put everyone in the front row so that they do more damage to her and themselves, and then just start killing them off. Yuffie will also help when she unfreezes. You can also have Cloud cast Flamethrower on Aerith and whoever your other party member is. It's pretty much imperative that Aerith always be in your party, and she always have Fury, so that she can use her level 3 limit breaks. Specifically, Pulse of Life. Without the ability to heal, if you're not near an inn, these enemies in this area will fuck you up pretty bad. Once you actually beat Yuffie, you have to go through what I'm assuming is fairly labor-intensive for a process for anyone who's never actually played this game before to actually recruit her. You have to answer 5 questions correctly. You never can open your menu, so never press the menu button, and you can't use that save point that's there either. Doing anything wrong will result in her stealing an item from you and leaving. And there's only a 1 in 8 chance that any random battle in the forested areas of Junon will be a fight with Yuffie. You can encounter her later in the game, and the chance to fight her does go up. But obviously we want to recruit her as early as possible. She is another long-range character, just like Barret, so she can attack from the back row at full damage. She also has another limit break that can heal you, so with her and Aerith we'll be able to heal ourselves quite frequently. Once you finish recruiting Yuffie, move on to Junon, the next city, and you'll have to save this little girl from a boss monster that just kind of shows up out of nowhere, and prepare for a long and, unfortunately, very frustrating and luck-based battle. This monster is called Bottomswell. He has 2500 HP, and would not normally be too difficult of an enemy, if not for the fact that in order to maintain your low-level status, or at least the lowest level that you possibly can, most people would recommend you try to learn Yuffie's second level 1 limit break, Clear Tranquil, during this fight, which would mean that you would have to have her use her first one, Grease Lightning, 8 times during the course of this fight, which is way easier said than done. You kind of have to pretty much hope that Bottomswell will do everything that you want him to do when you want him to do it, which is obviously more luck-based than strategy-based. I do not learn Clear Tranquil during this fight. After about the 3rd hour of trying, I just said fuck it and used... this is the best fight that I got, where I used 7, and then killed him before he could kill me. When you actually do kill him, he uses a attack called Big Wave as his final attack, and every time that I got to 8 Clear Tranquils, I would never have enough health to actually survive it. I have the battle speed turned all the way up, just because waiting for him to attack you is really annoying. Cloud and Aerith will never attack, only Yuffie will, and she'll only ever attack with Grease Lightning. So, obviously, watching him sit there for hours and hours, doing nothing but trying to attack my characters would not be very entertaining for anyone. He has certain stages that he goes through, as measured by how many Grease Lightnings I've hit him with. Once you hit him with 3, he will begin an attack that hits the whole party one at a time, but cannot be interrupted, called Moonstrike. It looks like individual hits, but even if you choose to enter like a limit break in between them, it technically counts as one move, so he will hit all the characters. You'll want to try to put Yuffie in the front row so that she gets attacked the most. You can put Eris in the front row too, because she'll most likely get Pulse of Life a bunch of times, which enables her to constantly keep healing the characters and bringing them back to life. Although you will never want any of them to die, especially Yuffie. You'll notice that the character's limit break bars are like a dark red color, which is because, as I said earlier, I fought those Levicron enemies and put all the characters under Fury status, which means that their limit break bars fill faster and they do more damage with their physical attacks, but you have a higher chance of missing with a physical attack. Obviously, limit breaks can't miss, so that's good news for us. Once you hit him with the 4th Grease Lightning, he will rise up into the air and use an attack called Water Polo, which is that attack right there. When he does that, you will need to use Flamethrower from Cloud to get rid of it, and you have to actually target it. So as you can see, it's very similar to Reno's Pyramid that he used, where it encapsulates a character and doesn't allow them to move or do anything. The only downside is that it also, beyond immobilizing them, reduces their health according to the battle speed. So since I have the battle speed all the way up, it chops your health down pretty quick. Also, it cannot be targeted by physical attacks. It can only be targeted by magical attacks, which means that Cloud is the only one who can do anything about it. That also obviously means that if Cloud is the one targeted by the Water Polo, he is pretty much going to die and have to be revived by Pulse of Life. And if you don't have a Pulse of Life charged, you are shit out of luck. Now, after the 4th Grease Lightning, he only does Water Polo once. And then he will return to doing his normal attacks. After the 5th Grease Lightning, he will alternate between only doing either Water Polo on a random character or an attack that hits everyone called Big Wave, which is pretty much where the luck-reliant part comes in, because if he targets Cloud once, you'll want to try to kill Cloud as quickly as possible so that he can be revived with Pulse of Life. If he targets Cloud again right after that, you're most likely not going to have time to charge another Pulse of Life before he gets another character. And since Cloud is the only one with a magical attack, since he has the enemy skill, Materia equipped, you're pretty much going to be fucked if he chooses Cloud 2 times in a row. Now, the good thing is that if 2 characters are in Water Polos or 2 characters are dead, he cannot encapsulate the last character. Unfortunately, this means that you can sometimes be left without a way to revive or heal yourself, and Yuffie will simply not have enough health to get the remaining Grease Lightnings that she needs and still survive the final attack. So as I said earlier, I use 7 Grease Lightnings during this fight, and then kill him off with physical attacks so that I can survive Big Wave. Then I get into a random encounter with a few enemies called Formulas. They look like these little airplanes. They have they give you the lowest amount of experience for killing the 3 of them that show up. It's only about an extra 190 or so. So not too bad. I'm also lucky because Yuffie joined my party with the lowest strength and level that she possibly could, so I may actually get her below level 30 after all. Which is my original plan, is to not have anyone above level 30. Level 29 would be nice, but not learning Clear Tranquil in this fight kind of puts that into... that might be doubtful. Another funny thing about this fight is that Bottomswell is actually an extremely easy boss to fight if you're fighting him normally, because he only does the Water Polo attacks as a counterattack to the different stages of his lowered HP. So if you never actually physically attack him, and then are still able to lower his health, like magic, more specifically poison, all you pretty much have to do is sit there and survive, and he'll eventually just die without ever water poloing any of your characters. So Yuffie has enough health right now that I can do one more Grease Lightning and then start finishing him off with physical attacks. Big Wave does more damage if there's only one character left. If there is only one character left, as you can see, since he doesn't do water polo, he will pretty much just skip his turn and then just do Big Wave. Because Fury fills your limit break bar so quickly, if you know that you only need a certain amount of damage to fill your bar, just defend so that you don't take more damage than you need to. With the battle speed set all the way up like this, I can usually get around 2 or 3 attacks before he can get one, since he skips water polo. Now it's pretty much just kill him before he can kill me, and hope that I don't miss. So success, we kill him without him killing us. Then we have to do CPR on the little girl to revive her. A woman in the town will offer you to stay at her house. Do not stay at her house, otherwise you will advance to the next area without being able to learn a very powerful attack from the next boss that we're going to fight. So once I get out of here, I go fight those formula enemies I mentioned earlier and learn Clear Tranquil. Then you'll want to proceed back through the Mithril Mines. And once there, we'll fight the next boss. And I will see you guys next time.